going on, guys? Welcome back to Chelsea Fan TV. Welcome back to another transfer video. First time we've done this in a while, but you guys are probably going to have to get used to this, as we all know and are probably very grateful for. There's no Chelsea for the next month. Let's go, people. I think that's the perfect break for everybody's mental health, but it does mean we are going to be hearing a lot of transfer rumours, players linked with the club, and as you guys already know from the summer, the best place for you guys to come and find that news is right here at Chelsea Fan TV. We're going to be talking about this whole Ronaldo situation because we already knew Chelsea were favourites to bring in Ronaldo in the summer, and I think that's only going to heighten as the next month progresses as we lead into the January transfer window. But we're going to delve into the whole Ronaldo situation. We're going to talk about the Mason Mount contract dispute that came out very soon after the Newcastle defeat on Saturday. So we're going to discuss that too. And we'll round things off with Leandro Trossard links, as Chelsea are looking to find a replacement for Hakim Ziyech, who has been trying to push for a departure ever since the summer. We're going to delve into all of that in today's video. So before we get into it, as you guys already know, got to do a little bit of housekeeping on the channel. Hit the like button if you guys haven't done so already. I keep telling you about how much it helps the channel, how much it helps push us on the algorithm, and helps us reach to a lot more Chelsea fans. So guys, if you haven't done so already, not asking for a super chat or a super thanks, even though it would be gratefully appreciated. Literally, just hit the like button. If you want to find out when we do more content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell notification button as well. And if you want to hear more from myself, the link to my personal channel will be in the title and in the description below as well. So check it out, like, subscribe, and let's get into this, because it wasn't even 4 hours after the last Premier League game before absolute chaos ensued when the leaks of Ronaldo's interview just came out. And he's already basically closed his own book at Manchester United. Like, there's no chance they bring him back. I would be very surprised if he even goes back to the training ground, let alone plays a game for them. Doesn't make sense for United to bring him back after the interview. But with that in mind, Chelsea are now favourites. And reports are saying Chelsea are favourites to sign Ronaldo in January following Sunday's explosive interview, where the player has effectively burnt his bridges at Old Trafford. Ronaldo, the club's top earner, has played a bit part role on the new manager Erik ten Hag, who the 37-year-old has said he will never respect. Interesting words to say about your manager. He was recently fined 2 weeks' wages and made to train with the reserves after refusing to come on against Tottenham. In a shock interview on Piers Morgan Uncensored, which got leaked out yesterday, Ronaldo has accused Ten Hag and 2 or 3 guys around the club of trying to force him out, insisting the fans should know the truth. Sounds a lot like Lukaku a year ago, but we move. Ronaldo is unlikely to ever play for United again, a little over a year after a much-lauded return, dubbed a homecoming by some to Old Trafford. Chelsea have been immediately installed as favourites to sign Cristiano Ronaldo following Sunday's shock claims. And I'm not surprised by that, only because Ronaldo literally shook his ass for all of Europe last summer. And nobody wanted him except Todd Boehly, except Chelsea. And I wouldn't be surprised if things are exactly the same, because Ronaldo hasn't looked any better since then. Ronaldo, if anything, has looked even worse than he did last season. Now he's not even scoring chances consistently. Now he's missing more chances. Now he's barely linking up play. He looks even slower than he did before because he didn't have a pre-season. And that's the only thing that I'm going to allow him for, because he said that had something to do with his daughter being ill, and that's off-the-field family matters. I'm not going to say a word about that. He was completely right in all of that. But the consequence of that is that because he hasn't had a pre-season, he looks absolutely terrible. And it's going to take even longer for him to get back into the speed of things. Now, maybe if he had a good World Cup, I might understand it a little bit more. But I still don't think this transfer makes any sense for us. Now, I know what people are going to be saying. Didn't you say you wanted Ronaldo in the summer? No. Yeah, I did. And you're right to change your opinions at times as well. I wanted Ronaldo because we needed a goal scorer. We needed someone who I thought could consistently get us 20 goals a season at a bare minimum. And Ronaldo got 18 at the worst Manchester United squad in Premier League history. But we now have that with Aubameyang. And people are going to say Aubameyang hasn't been playing well for us. I think that's a load of crap, personally. Aubameyang is suffering from the same issue that Ronaldo would suffer with if he was at Chelsea. And just a complete lack of service. Like, Aubameyang hasn't had a bad game for us except Salzburg away, I think. Other than that, I think every game that he's played, either he's scored or he just hasn't been given enough chances. And if that's the case, like, you can't blame Aubameyang for that. Same way you can't blame Ronaldo for it, but Ronaldo's also older, and Ronaldo doesn't fix any issues for us. If anything, he just makes more problems for us. The guy doesn't want to sit on the bench. He would come to Chelsea and likely still be sitting on the bench because I low-key think Aubameyang would offer us more right now. Aubameyang can link up play. Neither I would look at as being able to dribble and beat a man. But even Ronaldo's finishing has gone down. Like, he's nowhere near as clinical as he was back in his prime. And I feel like with Ronaldo, a lot of people are looking at the name. They're looking at the player that he used to be. Or they just like the idea of having Ronaldo having the GOAT in a Chelsea shirt. And I don't agree with that at all. Like, yeah, you'll sell a few shirts and everything like that. Hell, I might even cop a Ronaldo shirt just for the fun of it. But it doesn't help us in any way, shape or form. Like, I don't understand why Potter would want this. I think if this transfer was to go through, then it wouldn't have been Potter making the final say because I don't see how it benefits us. We're going to bring this guy in on about 200 to 300k a week when we need to be focusing on other areas of the squad. We need to bring in midfielders. We need to bring in wing-back depth. We need creators before we go for a finisher. We now have a finisher. There's no point bringing Ronaldo here. Like, I saw from Ben Jacobs as well. He said, when Todd Boehly was presented with the chance to sign Ronaldo for Chelsea, Tuchel never gave it any serious consideration. One reason why was because he spoke to Rangnick. And this just vindicates all of them. Both of them are vindicated because ever since Ronaldo sat on the bench, he hasn't been a team player. And the last thing we need is a player making the whole team about himself. If we were to try and make Ronaldo work, we would have to cater our entire team to him. And yeah, our team already doesn't score enough goals, but Ronaldo doesn't look like the sort of player that you would build a team around. So for me, personally, just off seeing this fallout, like, I'd be saying no, because we just had Lukaku last year. This doesn't make any sense. Now, with everything that's going on off the pitch, keep this guy as far away from my football club as humanly possible. Even a 6-month loan deal, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And it's a pointless transfer that benefits nobody. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the description below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with anything that I've said. And we'll go on to the Mason Mount contract talks because this has reached a stalemate with 18 months left on his Chelsea deal. I find it funny that this came out straight after the Newcastle defeat. I don't know if this has come from Mount's camp or this has been an article ready for the last week or two. And they just thought this is the perfect time to drop it. Although, the more I think about it, it could have been over the last few days. We've lost our last 3 games. They could have put that out at any time. But I feel like this is to put pressure on the club to try and force a contract for Mason Mount on his terms. But I'm going to say the same thing that I've been saying for the last month. And I don't care if you're a Mount stan. I don't care if you think he should be on Reece James's wages or not. I don't believe that. Mason Mount should not be sniffing the same wages that Reece James is on right now with the form that he's playing in. Mason Mount shouldn't even be trying to push for a contract with the way that he's playing right now. Like, I wouldn't want to get rid of Mason Mount, but I would rather lose Mason Mount than give him those wages on the form that he's at right now. Because when you're paying someone that amount, when you're keeping someone for about 6 to 7 years, which is what the contract would be for as well, you are entrusting our long-term future into that player. You are also looking to build the team around that player. And I am fine with building the team around Reece James. Reece James is a consistent player for us. Reece James is one of the best players in our squad and has consistently been one of the best players since he joined us. Mason Mount hasn't. He hasn't. He hasn't been the same player since 2021 when we won the Champions League. He doesn't look as motivated. His creativity is absolutely dried up. He's overhitting passes for fun. Defensively, he doesn't look as good. Barely wins any of his duels. He plays hope ball all the time. And like it's just frustrating watching him every single game. And you want to reward this with a bumper new contract? No. Like, I understand we probably will sign Mason Mount to a contract, and I accept that. I think at the worst, he'd be a great squad player for us to have. Like, I would keep him around the squad. On those wages, on that sort of contract length, hell no. Not with the way that he's playing right now. I would not entrust my long-term future into this guy. And God forbid if he's asking for even more than James, because that's just ridiculous personally. But let this be a stalemate. You want a contract, play for it. The same way the likes of Lampard, John Terry, Drogba, all these players, I'm sure there's a few more off the top of my head that I've forgotten about. Ashley Cole, the way they all had to fight for a contract. Fight for your contract, bro. Fight for it. Because if you play well enough, you will get that contract. You'll be the first person to get a contract. And I'm sure everyone would know that. But right now, I wouldn't give him anything close to Reece James's wages. Let me know what you guys think, but that I'm not doing anything like that personally. To round off, we'll talk about Trossard. Simon Phillips has said Chelsea will look to replace Ziyech with Trossard from Brighton, a player who has been on our radar even since before Graham Potter took the reins. Now, I understand the Trossard links. We've spoken about this for a while. With Graham Potter coming to Chelsea and obviously being the guy who got the best style Trossard at Brighton, it makes perfect sense and he would fit Potter's style of play like a glove. I don't know if Brighton can get a 1-year extension on his contract. I've heard rumours about that, but even then I do think Trossard's a player we should go for. He does seem keen on the move. He's not said too much, but there is hints. I think he's just trying to be respectful about it. But if he does look to leave Brighton, I would be very surprised if we weren't front runners for it. And I think it would be a great move for us too. Ziyech, we already know, wants to leave. Best of luck wherever you go to. But as soon as he leaves, the door opens for Trossard. And to me, that is the perfect move for us to make. But let me know what you guys are saying down in the comment section below. Let me know if you agree or disagree with any of my points. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, up the Chels.